I'm not sure if you're aware, this semester, or was it last semester, Seneca rolled out access to Adobe Creative Cloud to all Seneca students. So you can use your Seneca credentials to access a wide variety of software now offered through Adobe, including this. This is free to access, but with your Seneca credentials, you do get access to their stock image collection and a few other perks. So the Adobe Spark is kind of like a portfolio of tools that Adobe rolled out that are kind of simple to pick up on, or quick to pick up on rather, and helps you create digital media, including the one we're using today, which is Adobe Video. So the first thing I'll do is log in. And again, you can use your Seneca credentials when you log in as with your Adobe ID. When you log in, the first thing you'll see is any working projects that you have already, as well as the option to make some new ones. So generally what you want to do is float to the top here, to this plus icon, and then select what type of project you want to work with. The first thing it puts front and center are templates that you can use. If you wanted to use a template and it fits with your video, go for it. The only thing I would mention about templates is, if you find that perfect template that complements this project, chances are 3 other people in your class also found that same template and loved it. Chances are your prof has 3 other sections, 3 people in each class. All of a sudden that template is not as unique as it used to be. So if you do work with a template, go in there, customize it, make it your own, really add your personal flair just so it stands out from every other submission. But what I do is I try not to work with templates. I like to start from scratch. And if I go all the way to the bottom, I have the start from scratch option. So I have the option to create a graphic, create a web page. These are other Adobe Spark modules, but what we're doing today is creating a video. First thing it asks you to do is name your video. I mentioned that accessibility is a big part of my job, so I'll be making a video today, already finishing off a video today on accessibility. So that's what I would start with. Here, it kind of asks you, what type of video are you making? And through that, it'll make some decisions for you. It'll help you choose music, it'll help you choose themes. You can work with that, but as I mentioned, I do like to start from scratch, so I will be starting from scratch. The first thing you do on your first project, or the first thing it prompts you, is with this kind of instructional video. It's about 1 minute long, and it's actually a really good overview on just the layout of the software. It's a pretty basic layout, but if you want to know what all your buttons are and such, I do suggest watching the video. I won't do that right now. I can leave that up to you, and I'll just point out how this layout looks. So, have you worked with PowerPoint before? It kind of has a PowerPoint flair, where it breaks it down into slides. And you work with each slide, you add a slide, you build it, you continue building in that sense. Your slides down here also function as your timeline. So the order that you put your slides in, and also the duration of each slide, you can determine here. You have your control panel on the right here. This kind of just gives you some very overview or options on how to define and how to theme your presentation. And then you have your working slide here. On your working slide, you will notice some limitations in the software, and the limitations just make it a little bit easier to access. But essentially, you are given very few options of what you can bring into your slide. But with that, with a little bit of creativity, you can really expand what you can do with it. So generally, you're working with videos, text, photos, or icons. And we'll explore that a little bit further. So I'm going to actually get out of this fresh new one, because I've started building one that I want to finish with you guys today. And while that's loading, I'm going to bring up the script that we're going to work with. So I did mention that working with a script is very useful, and I also mentioned that accessibility is pretty important to me, so we're making an accessibility video today. I break down my script very basically. I think scripts, their main purpose is to just make sure that you're doing your job and help you make your video a lot easier. So in my context, all I really want in my script is what am I going to say and what's going to be on my slide. And that's what I've done here. So I have my narration portion. This is what I plan on speaking on each slide. And then this is my images, or the content that's going to be on my slide, whether it's images, whether it's text, whatnot. What I try to do when I build is I try to get my narration down down in order. And what I mean by that is, my narration is going to be including all my information, my data, my resources. All that tends to be touched upon when I'm speaking. So if I have this determined already, then I'll go and I'll start brainstorming what images would complement what I'm saying best. And I might not even start looking for images yet. I just might start working through my presentation, making kind of a nice to have. And after I have that nice to have, I'll go online, I'll start looking. And I try to do this all at once. That way when I am gathering resources, I can try to make sure that they all kind of align stylistically, themes, colors, and such. And it just helps the process for me at least. So this is my script that I'm working with, and you'll notice that my first one is a title slide, and all it's going to really say is accessibility. And at this point, I'm going to sit down. Again, if you have any questions, just get my attention. I might not be able to see a hand right away.